So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. If you guys are new, welcome to the channel. I'm so blessed that you're here and that you guys found me. I hope that you guys stay and subscribe and that this reading resonates for you guys. For those of you guys who are returning, I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed, and I can't wait to see what today's reading reveals for you guys. We're doing a what's next in love, and if you are single, if you're in a relationship, if you're in a situationship, if you're already meeting the person that you're expecting to get into a relationship with, or if you haven't met this person, either will apply. Obviously, it's going to be unique for your own situation, so apply the energy as you see fit to your situation, okay? Because I'm just reading energy. How you apply it is specifically up to you. But if that energy is not resonating, or if it's something you're not wanting to manifest in your world, then don't accept that energy. Okay, you don't have to listen to that reading. So these are the decks I'll be using for today's reading. I'll put a link right here for those of you guys who are interested in energetically charging these cards for future readings and or just taking a look at the cards inside these decks. Then I do include that for you guys. And this will be a pick a card, and I'll get into the three options shortly. All right, for our options, we have pre-shuffled oracle cards. I ask Spirit, what is next in love for pile 1, pile 2, pile 3? I'll hold up your stones shortly, or your options, and then we'll get into the sound bit for those of you guys who are wanting a different way to select your pile. So for option number 1, we have the moon. Option number 2, we have the sun. Option number 3, we have the cloud. Labradorite. All right, so let's get into the sounds. For option number 1, the moon, here's your sound. Option number 2 for the sun, here's your sound. Option number 3, here's your sound. All right. I apologize if the sounds don't come through very loud on your end because my microphone doesn't pick up high-pitched sounds. So sit with the energy, and if you still feel stuck, close your eyes, open your eyes. Whichever one first pulls to you will most likely be the message for you. Okay, if it doesn't resonate, then go check out another pile or another reading, and I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, pile number 1. You guys picked the moon. And we're looking at what is next in love for you. I just peeked at the bottom of the tarot and I saw the 2 cups. So let's see. Now, if you are single, if you are already in a relationship or situationship, or if you've already met someone or you're looking to meet someone, apply the energy to your unique situations, okay? If it's apparent that it's not for single, I'll let you know. And if it can be applied to your situation, then do so, okay? But don't force it. And of course, if it doesn't resonate, don't take the message, go to another pile, okay? So we have the safety with the number 8. It's giving me hangman vibes. And we have freedom, 21. The energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. 21 and 3. And then we have 35 with rigidity and the throat chakra. And we have 55, in between worlds. '55 is a master number. Change is the only constant. Divinely orchestrated change. Okay, and then we have childhood. And we have the Ace of Wands, which is called the Ace of Roses in this deck. First impression rose. Two hands, and both of these, 2 hands. Interesting. And then we have the child, oh my goodness, in childhood. Number 2, character, ego level, successor, heir, boy, girl, offspring, and descendant. Type 2, the helper, emotional center between giving and receiving. Holding on to flowers. Here we got a rose. Okay. I'm going to channel before we get into the tarot and everything, because there's already strong energy coming through. Give me a moment to sit here with this energy, and then I will channel what it's saying. Okay, pile number 1. This energy could certainly belong to you. It could belong to the person you're dealing with. I feel one energy here, but either side, it's going to impact. It's going to impact the relationships that this person has. Okay, this person, apply it to whomever. I feel it's had a challenging time trusting in connection. It's been very difficult. In fact, it could be a long period of being single here. Okay, like really sort of enjoying one's own time alone, understanding maybe one's self, but only from the capacity in which we can when we're single. Because when we have connection, relationship, specifically ones that are intimate or can bring out certain parts of us, that's when we truly get to know ourselves. So regardless of how much this person has known themselves or has grown within their own sort of world, being single or independent or free or living the way that they do, I feel like there is a major shift here in regards to connection, because I feel like if this person hasn't met someone which it could be you or the person you're about to meet, this is about to change. Now, if this is someone you're dealing with, and I'll get into this person's energy so you know, this person is sort of coming out and taking a chance on this connection from a place in which they haven't been able to do before. Because I do feel this person has had some experience that has made them maybe not trust connection, open up, be vulnerable, connect to intimacy, or express themselves. I feel this person is someone who could be very stuck in protecting their freedom, and I do feel this person could have a very sort of difficult time opening up, like expressing their emotions specifically, like, because emotions could be very scary. So there is this love of self that comes through in connecting with other. So for those of you guys who are in a connection with someone that seems to have been someone who is protecting their freedom, maybe they've been shut off to connection, deepening the connection, maybe seemingly removed, or maybe they said, I need time to do my own thing, or I need to find myself, or just do me, or like something like this. I feel like this person was fearful of opening up to connection. Okay, now if this is someone who, like if this is resonating for you in regards to your own energy here, I feel like you are connecting with somebody here who allows you to feel a safe place to explore what it would feel like to be in a connection. So I feel like there is just an exception here with the attraction and the chemistry felt, because there's definitely a lot of chemistry and attraction. And I feel like if you've been involved with this person for some time, sorry, I'm jumping around as it comes through because I want to include every aspect here. It's like there's no doubt that there's attraction. There's no doubt that there's been chemistry between you and this person, but it'd be very hard to sort of surpass a certain level of depthness with this person, because I do feel like this person was really trying to make sure that you were a safe person to be around. And so I do feel like this is somebody who has experienced a tough childhood, or has ingrained patterns, ways of being that might really, really, really make them highly independent, push out connection. Okay. But I feel like this connection allows this person to, like I said, like really see connection differently and themselves differently. I feel like this person feels like the best is brought out in them when it comes to this connection. And I feel like it's it's like allowing this person to maybe approach differently, share differently, and even consider differently, because I do feel this person has been quite removed and shut down. So I feel like there's an openness where there might have been a shutness, or a closed downness, if you want to say that. And it could still come with some form of a hesitancy, but it's not a hesitancy in regards to the other person so much as it is new territory for this person to explore. And I feel like if this person has been predominantly in an energy that's been very masculine, let's say, for example, then it's like understanding the other side of the polarity within them. So what it's like to be more in a feminine energy, like specifically when it comes to feeling emotions, expressing emotions, receiving. Because if this person has been very much tough or independent, or like carrying an energy that it might might be exhausting to be in one energy predominantly. This has been stemmed from an abandonment wound, a childhood that's been rough, and maybe even a lack of self-worth, or really having to sit with one's own self-esteem, self-love, self-worth, and cultivate this. And so if you guys have been in a period where you've been really focused on your own self-love and healing inner child wounds, it's like meeting this person allows you to consider shifting out of the single phase, or I don't need anyone phase, or my freedom at all costs here, to finding a freedom within connection. I feel like there, the energy that is being explored is one that offers appreciation. And it's like, I don't know, you see how this rose has a lot of thorns here. And so flowers can definitely talk about appreciation, showing someone value, gifting someone your love or your attention. I feel like there could be like ingrained patterns of like receiving hurts, you know? And of course, it feels good to receive. Everyone loves to receive, but it's like, why does receiving hurt? Because I feel like there was something here that's being uncovered about self-love, self-worth, that was not allowing this person to receive from a place of knowing that they deserve to be loved, valued, appreciated, and experience connection here without the fear of getting hurt, being vulnerable, or betrayed by other. There seems to be an opening up in regards to feminine energy for this person. Okay, so feminine energy is healing. It is, like I said, able to receive, able to sit with emotions and feel things out without the need to maybe, deflect them or deny them, or like keep busy, or like direct energy outwards in order to not have to sit with emotion and expression. So if you know of someone like this in your world, okay, maybe you haven't met them. If this is someone you're meeting, then it's someone who's been a long time single, who has done a lot of time here in this space, where the next step for them for sure is this connection. Their next shift in their world is this connection, because I feel like whatever they are going to be learning from this connection, they could not sort of learn on their own. And not that you are, or that if this is you, that the other person is like a test by all means. But I mean, everything in the universe is like a mirror to sort of help us to spiritually grow. But it's really like, this is the next chapter in love for this person, to explore another side of themselves that they actually feel safe doing in this connection, because it feels right, it feels safe. So if you've been with this person for some time and it's been a challenge because there has been a little movement, or you felt shut out, or this person's been kind of stagnant, I feel, or just not progressing, not showing that they've been truly like committed, or that their feelings have been deep here or invested, I feel like this person is coming out of this energy. I feel like there's been enough time for this person to reflect upon this connection, either through your consistent support and appreciation, or just energetically sort of being around here, just giving this person perspective. But also, if you haven't met this person, then it's like this person has taken time to flesh out all the energy here. That's like, when they meet you, it's like, I'd be sort of silly to pass up on a good opportunity here, even if it's going to expose me to some hurts that I've been fearful in the past, because I have been able to really consider what it would be like if I just continue down this path of singlehood and shut everyone out, because of past experience or my wounding or whatever here. So if you're in a connection with this person, I feel like this person is going to potentially even express to you maybe what they have experienced that's been creating the energy that they've been maintaining for some time, like why maybe they've been guarded or why they have been challenged in relationship or whatever has happened in their experience that sort of developed their energy that's been experienced, like, or that is manifesting in connection, as opposed, sorry, I'm not wording it right. This person, if you're in a relationship with them, they're going to express their experience they had that as a child or in the past, which I do feel has been developed as a childhood, that has significantly impacted them and how they see connection and how they engage in connection. It's like, this experience was real to me. This is how it impacted me. Here's how it was processed by me. And here's what I've maybe suffered as a result of it, or what I believe to be true about myself because of this thing. So I feel like there's a truth that's being understood, but whether this person's going to articulate, and completely like be vulnerable and open up, if they haven't, I don't think that's going to be completely how it comes about. But I feel like there is an acknowledgement in conscious awareness and in action that says, I no longer want to support the victim experience or the challenged experience, and keep perpetuating an energy within me that pushes away love and exploration and opportunity. So it seems to be open to opportunity. It is safe to love. I can move forward. I can see things from the place now that allows me to want to trust, because I feel safe, and maybe make changes here that have been very strict or very limited or very rigid, or, like, to keep me safe, I've kept very tight boundaries. And so I feel like this person's going out of their comfort zone to experience what it would feel like to try something different for them, which in the past, I don't know that this person would have done such a thing. But so I do feel like there's big change here. There does seem to be real truths that this person is actually acknowledging, like maybe really what has happened to me, or how it has impacted me, or how I sabotage as a result of that experience that I maybe wasn't seeing in the past, how it might have been impacting my guardedness, or my fears, or my closed offness, or my need for independence, or how tough maybe I thought that I was. But it's like there's a truth that I'm understanding. So there's self-awareness that comes through for sure. And there goes my email. There's a higher level of understanding through a deeper reflection. And I don't feel like this is someone that's sort of having that, and then it's like well, it could be, and you spontaneously sort of meet this person at the right sort of time that they've decided here, like, I'm not going to let this hinder me no more, which is very, very brave, because it's like going from being super guarded, even in trusting connections, to like experiencing or exploring something brand new, which could be the case for sure for this person, But I feel for a lot more the case here is this person has been working through this in your presence. So maybe this has been a friend of yours. Maybe you have been in a situationship with this person, or even in a relationship, understanding that this person has had their boundaries, or maybe has even been avoiding looking at the pains deeper and how it's been impacting their own self-worth and self-love, specifically like giving and receiving love or being open to connection. Yeah, because I feel like this person has been very challenged with what it means to be present, emotionally open, and feeling safe in that dynamic. I also feel there's something about physical touch that comes through here. So I feel it's like this person, yeah, there's quite a bit of energy that comes through. I feel like this person might have a really difficult time like fully expressing themselves in words. So they might be someone who takes action or shows through ways of service or even appreciation gifts. That's their language. You know, what I can do, what I can offer, and that sort of a thing can like truly show how I'm feeling. Because I feel like there's more of this like desire to show you. But I also feel like if this person's been challenged in intimacy, like it could be that they connect differently, maybe like in a way here that's like through physical touch, or it's like understood by that dynamic, what they're trying to express to you through a way of physical touch, if that makes any sense. There's like a genuine excitement to discover this connection. And I feel it is from a place that maybe this person, again, was too closed off to even see what could come of exploring this connection. It's like an excitement. Like, I can't wait to see, like, how this connection can unfold. What could uncover from, like, exploring this thing that I've been closed off to in the past, because I've been too guarded to acknowledge to myself that I am worthy of exploring deeper love or being loved, and that I am lovable, and that I can also be worthy of a partnership and contribute to a partnership here. Like, I'm not deficient in any way. I feel like this person might even, yeah, because gifts coming through again. So they could give you or make you like a bracelet or some piece of jewelry here. And it's like all these like acts, I feel, is like a way of expressing to you how they're truly feeling. And so maybe to you, it's like maybe not as meaningful of a thing. That's just like, okay, it's a gift here. But to this person, it's like a true like declaration of how they're feeling, you know? So I do feel there's challenge with how this person can express their truest, deepest emotions that they're working through. That's created a lot of challenge, but I do feel they're pushing themselves outside of their comfort zone. There's a lot here about, you know, like giving and receiving love that might have been an unhealthy understanding due to childhood, and it could be mother wounds, okay, or just parental challenge that this person has experienced growing up that has truly impacted their relationships as an adult here. If you know who this person is, but you've been removed from this person's world, for some time. I feel this person is going to come to you, and the gift here is a gift of like, let's try this from a new regard. I appreciate you. You know, it's like a truce. I'm sorry. Or like, let's, like, you mean something to me. Let's try this genuinely from a place where maybe I wasn't able to before. And then explain to you, however it comes through, why maybe it's posed a problem for this person or why they've been shut down or removed. I feel this person does want security and stability in their world, and I feel they're wanting it with you. Okay, even if, like I said, this is a new encounter here, it's like they see the potential to explore this with you and like what's within their capability to do so. I feel this person feels more empowered than they have in the past to do things, to move, to be accountable, to, if they want to experience love, then to put themselves forward, to engage in the giving and receiving process. Yeah. Okay. So let's see some tarot and confirm or elaborate on some of this stuff. So we have Pisces and Leo and Taurus, Libra. Aquarius in this spread so far. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good for pile number 1. What is next in love for pile 1? What is next in love for pile 1? What is next in love? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1 and this connection person that we're channeling here. Thank you so much, Spirit. So we see the 4 of Pentacles. So something about stability was coming out. Like I said, this person wanting stability. I feel this person has historically, oops, this one came jumping at me like that, historically been very held back, you know, playing it safe in the comfort zone. And so, like I said, they're pushing themselves outside of comfort zone, blocking their emotions potentially, or just holding back true, a true desire to be loved, experience love, and step forward. Because what if it's too painful? What if, like, there could be what ifs all day long here, you know? So I do feel they've been guarded and very reserved, very stuck, maybe like, again, playing it very safe. And so there's massive change. Okay, like I said, 55 is a master number. Change is the only constant. Divinely orchestrated change. It's giving me Hangman, and this is where we have, you know, a meeting with the divine to see a greater perspective, because we see the light. We understand from a greater point of view, a more divine understanding of like purpose and meaning. So I feel like they're seeing the hindrance of being held back. They're seeing the hindrance of being blocked, stagnant, too safe, and what it's resulted in. So I feel like there's still like not necessarily hesitancy, but it's like, I don't know. I'm interested in finding out. There's an innocence here, coming vulnerable to explore. And that is scary for this person, for sure. You know, coming in this sort of an energy. Okay, but I feel this is passing energy here. 8 of Cups in the reverse. 6 of Wands in the reverse. The Sun. That's this child energy. And that's also this Hangman, enlightened understanding here. The clarity we're shedding and passing energy here. Okay, and the 6 of Wands is an ego card. Same with the Sun. As I feel like the ego could sound like, what if I don't succeed? What if it fails? What if I try and I'm like rejected? or I do something that doesn't work, you know? And so I'll play safe here, choosing it to be sort of stagnant, but emotionally not fulfilled. And this has resulted in me not winning in relationship. This doesn't feel good. And so there's only so much I can sit here before I start to see the light or start to understand what joy means or what happiness means or what, you know, like to see clearly and to acknowledge what this inner child is wanting to experience, which is love and be seen and experienced. So definitely a boost of confidence here. Okay, King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, more Leo. And then we have the Death, Scorpio energy. This is massive transformation. This is the release. This is change is the only constant. Okay, and divinely orchestrated because we do have a major arcana. Yeah, I feel this person is really transforming their world here from a safe energy, a held back energy, a blocked energy, an emotionally unsatisfying position out of fears, out of past experience, and letting that go with a newfound confidence to experience something more joyful, which is this connection. Wow. Six of Swords in the sideways position, which means coming out of self-sabotage, creating conflict because of our wounds, where it's like we can't work in relationship when we're in a 5-sword energy. And I feel this person, from being held back, from being too closed off, from being stagnant or stuck, has experienced too much of a 5-sword energy in their relationship. It's like, I don't want to do this. And so I feel like this is exactly it. Because if we're seeing 6 swords, it's like, I don't know, it's like completely like 2 feet in, completely rowing forward, you know. I feel like it's like a hesitancy because, and like I said, not even necessarily hesitant. It's like, I'm open now, but I'm still like tentative here because it's like, can I trust this situation to open up? I guess I'll find out, you know, but it could easily like shut down if like I feel a threat sort of coming in, you know. So I have to be sort of open to what's new and what I'm exploring here. So there's fear, but do it anyway energy here, you know, and see what happens. And the King of Swords, and then the Knight of Pentacles. King of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. Knight of Pentacles, and under that we have the 9 of Swords. Yeah, feel the fear and do it anyway. So anxiety, do it anyway. And then this is us sort of being in our mind. So, and there's the Butterfly, which is this transformation. I feel like your person is coming through in a masculine energy and also a feminine energy, and I'll explain. I feel like they've been in their mind. Mental activity is definitely more masculine energy. Okay, but there's only so much racking of the mind and the logical sort of understanding we can do before it starts to defeat us, or self-defeating thoughts or anxieties or lack of confidence or doubts or experience. It then leaves us sort of empty-handed, maybe wanting more, maybe emotionally not fulfilled. And so this person cannot outthink their way anymore. It's like the transformation has happened, where it's like, I have to move forward regardless. Like, it's time to move forward here. Of course, this person is slow and steady. Okay, I don't feel this person is going to like bust in and just like declare like their deepest feels. Okay, but I feel like this is a big change for this person to even step outside of their thought. And I'm getting again a gift. So I feel they're coming to you with some form of a gift, which could just represent like, I want to try this, or if I were to open up and try this, it's you I'd pick. It's like, I've realized this, you know, it's like I've come to this understanding that here is where I want to invest. Here is where I'm safe enough to try this. And since I know that I'm going to have to move forward at some point in time. Not necessarily that I have to be in a relationship, but I can't just be a sort of blocking everyone out here and creating a 5 sword in my environment. That's to move forward and to experience joy and to experience adventure and to be open and this sort of a thing. It's like, here is where I choose. You're the energy I want to invest in. And I feel like this is known. This will be known. Okay, this is what's sort of shifting, is like this person will be outwardly expressing this through a way of, I don't know, like action, service, words, gifts. I don't know what the exact thing is, but there's a revelation or a realization for sure. Okay, and then it's like, let me cultivate this and prove this and shift my own energy out of a safe zone, and feeling really weighed down by that sort of an energy. Like, it's been tiring for this person. It's been stressful. It's been something that they finally said, it's keeping me sort of in circles or weighing me down just to sort of remain in my mind. And so I feel like there is whatever has been in the mind, it now is given birth to either, like I said, it's like it becomes conscious. And then it's like, I must act upon this consciousness, or I must communicate what this truth is, or I am like accepting this truth now, rather than it being just sort of an idea that's tossed around. That's sort of, sometimes we do this with the ego, where we like validate the story of the past. Okay, why I'm saying past is because we have the child and the childhood here, and it's like the experience of the past that created that energy, and then we support it, because really our main concern of the ego is to feel safe. And so it sounds logically right. And we could keep sort of saying that story, and it's like, yes, logically it's right. Like, whatever I believe about, relationship, it's too soon, or this is exactly what happened last time, and then that person cheated, or they lied, or like, yes, and then we believe the ego story, and it's like, yes, but it has nothing to do with what they're experiencing, like in the present moment. Because I feel like in this present moment, whatever this connection is, it's like, it is safe. There is an ability for them to explore this thing without automatically feeling like they're going to be like threatened or betrayed or abandoned, or experience their worst nightmare. Like, the worst nightmare is most likely not going to manifest here, but it's like, I'm still needing to develop the courage to go outside my comfort zone and explore this thing, and drop this egoic understanding that I might be rejected, I might be abandoned, I might experience the same thing. And it's like, so I'll just stay unhappy. But it's like, well, pick your poison, because I think wherever they were was their understanding. It's not to the fulfillment. It's not to the joy. And I do feel like you, okay, like if this isn't your energy, then you give this person this a newfound sort of confidence to believe in the connection enough for them to be confident to explore it without that same narrative that always sort of gets in the way of them moving beyond this wound or this way of being that's been maybe really holding them back for who knows how long in their world. And it could have been even masquerading as self-love, independence, freedom, confidence to choose myself, or to be by myself, or to manage on my own. I don't need anyone sort of energy here, which sounds great in theory, but it's like a sabotage where it's like, it's because I can't trust, or really it's like I have a fear of being vulnerable. Really, it's like I have a fear of rejection, abandonment. I lack the confidence here, the courage to explore outside of my comfort zone, open up to vulnerability. It makes me feel really, really anxious here. And I feel sort of chained to these thoughts. So I feel like there's divine guidance in, yes, because the 55, like I said, is change is the only constant, divinely orchestrated. So it's like the divinely guided to break the chains of past patterns that were stemmed from unhealthy thoughts, from past experience, that got in the way of this person's courage and confidence to explore outside their comfort zone, to then make themselves available to connection and really release it, like transform those negative thought patterns or the self-speak or whatever they thought, which I feel is untrue. It's like I'm ready to let it go. So if you're in a connection like this, regardless if you're this person or with someone like this, I feel there's significant transformation in the connection as a result of this person's acknowledgement or seeing, conscious awareness of this challenge that gets in the way of this connection, giving and receiving of love, expression, emotional expression, appreciation to other, being vulnerable with other, and taking action and accountability and being confident in their ability to do in this connection, meaning how I show up, the things that I do, the way that I engage, like that's all within my hands and I could do this. Yeah. So this is what I see. Pile number 1, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Leo, very strong, Aries, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Pisces, Taurus, Aquarius. Yeah. All right. I'll see you at the next one. All right. Bye-bye. Hi, pile 2. Welcome to your pile. You guys pick the sun. And these cards right here. And we're looking at what's next in love. So apply this to your own unique situations. If you're single, if you're in a connection, if you're in a relationship or situationship or whatever is going on, I will be channeling energy. It's up to you to apply it as you see fit. Okay. So let's take a look. We have 14 with the knowing, or just knowing, it says. We have some Pisces and some Sagittarius energy here. Then we have commitment. The frequency of commitment supports our ability to devote ourselves in all aspects of our being with our being and with unwavering belief. Scorpio energy. And we have the sacral chakra with play, number 8. Some Leo and some Aquarius. And then we have green with 78. Lots of green over here. So we have 15. Capricorn energy and Gemini. More Pisces energy as well coming through. We have love. Beautiful. And we have the hot seat, number 11. So this is giving me justice energy. I mean, it's the card 11 in the tarot, which I do believe is justice. I'm going to see in this deck because sometimes justice is switched with strength. But I was feeling like some sort of like karmic payback here with being in the hot seat. Like we have to explain ourselves. But let me see. Yeah, 11. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure I'm reading this as this book is. God. It says, it's your time in the spotlight. Your voice will be heard, whether it's time to share your side of the story or take accountability for your actions and set things straight. This is your opportunity. The world is watching as you take the stage for your big reveal or your most authentic truth. Truth, justice, full circle, accountability. Yeah. Okay. So it is the justice card. I was feeling more the accountability of something, or like now tables have turned in some way. Okay. Let's see. And then we email confirming that. And then we have 18 with delay. Or number 9, procrastination, afterwards, later on, waiting, patience, postponed, Cancer energy. And some Virgo energy as well. Okay, so let me sit here with this energy before we tap into the tarot and channel what this is talking about here for you. You guys can definitely skip ahead. Libra too, if I didn't say. Okay, pile number 2. What I feel in this group here is about your energy and how it might be shifting here. Because I feel like up until maybe this point, you might have felt disappointed. You know, I don't know if you're disappointed in yourself, disappointed in others, disappointed in your experience, all of the above. And it's been like too much to carry, this like disappointment where we feel almost like it's out of our hands. I'm sort of at the mercy of my experience, and it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't give me confidence in my decisions or make me feel secure in my position. And it's feeling almost like the ground is moving beneath our feet. Anything can kind of change. And what I feel is shifting here is a commitment to yourself, your healing practice, and your trust in self, and how you're sort of gaining, not sort of, you're gaining trust in how you're calling it inside. There's like your intuition, it might have been like screaming at you, you know? And I don't know if you guys come from a relationship already, if you've just been sort of trying to date people, but it's been going sort of sideways and your intuition's like saying one thing and then your experience has been another. It's like you're learning to really understand your intuition, your needs, what it's saying, how to stand behind what it is that you're feeling and thinking, despite like maybe pressures or shifts in other people or like opportunities that might come. But it's like in the past, I would maybe entertain certain things, you know, because I'm not really sure, like, could this go somewhere? Like, but maybe there was no real desire there, or like I knew it might have not have been for my greatest good to like try this person because they were maybe too immature, or maybe I just knew it wasn't for my greatest good, like for my healing or my growth or something like this. And so I feel like what's coming in here is a true commitment to your inner truth and a deep love of self and a healing through a process here where it gives you a lot of strength in your decisions, and it removes a lot of this cloudiness or a lot of this tentative energy, or maybe like uncertainty when it comes to, is this fear? Is this my intuition? What am I actually feeling here? Like, is this a true feeling? Is this sort of like a feeling that I'm like carrying that's not even really my own? Like, there seems to be this sort of need to figure out self through the process of whatever you did experience. And now this period you're entering here is like, I know more what it is that is going to make me happy. And I could feel when something feels good, or if it doesn't feel good, or if it feels aligned or doesn't feel aligned, or if this is for out of self-love, or if this is out of me sort of maybe sabotaging myself, or if I'm really sort of confused about it, or something like this, you know? So I feel like if things have been really serious and heavy and draining and confusing, it's like this is a lighter time for you to sit with yourself without pressure of getting it wrong and not feel guilty. It's like I love myself enough to explore myself from a safe lens without maybe feeling, I don't know, like a heaviness, or like you betrayed yourself, or you're doing something wrong, or it's like has so much weight, and then we like beat ourselves up, or it's like I should have known better, or I my intuition knew better, or told me something here. So I feel like there's a better grip on your emotions too, because maybe it's like I was just sort of firing off on my emotions, and your emotions could have been very reactionary, or just all over the place, or feeling like dysregulated at times. It's like sometimes I could just all of a sudden like have an emotional sort of outburst, or feel something intensely and then act on that and then regret it, or not know if I should do that. Like there seems to be a lot of that sort of an energy here, you know. And it's like I learned through experience, I learned through observation, I learned through not listening to my intuition. And then now it's like I know what my intuition is sort of saying. There seems to be a mastering of one's own intuition, being comfortable with one's emotions, letting it sort of sit there and see it for what it is, and choosing self. So it's like I love myself enough to not judge me, or to allow myself the permission to do what it is I am choosing here, even if it like no one else understands it, or I don't got to explain it to anyone else here. And like this energy of like what's for me is going to be happening because I trust that if I stick to my truth, and if my intuition is showing me what I know to be true, then there's no reason for me to doubt that all will sort of work out well for me. And I think this is massive growth for you, because maybe in the past there was an anxiousness, or like an emotional sort of to and fro, or again, like an instability of it, or maybe even loving other or giving of self to other, you know, like imbalanced love I'm feeling here. So it's like I had to overgive or overinvest, or like make myself little in order to be appreciated or seen or loved back, or like taken seriously, or like something like this. Yeah, and maybe it's like I don't know if you felt like maybe you there's something that comes through of like really like being vulnerable and like being intimate and putting oneself out there, and then like it maybe it being like feeling like we betrayed ourselves, or like knowing who is worthy of seeing this internal world of mine and not. It's like it's something to be honored, it's something to be valued, it's something to not just be given away, because I'm worthy of this being sort of reflected back in another, or me not seeing myself as like someone who is, I don't know, like maybe when you involve yourself with people, it's like you put them on a pedestal, or they're more, what they want has more meaning, and like what you want or your own contribution is less significant in some way here, which is untrue. And it's like, why do I go and you know, open up in a way here that exposes me or leaves me vulnerable, or like opens these emotions. I can like express these emotions and then try to like create an environment here, and then it isn't necessarily the safest environment, or it brings me a lot of pain, or upon reflection it's like it disappoints me, and more so it's like I'm disappointed in myself, you know, which is sad because it's like you carry a lot of like the brunt of like what's happened is sort of as a result of your own doing, which is true. But for sure, if we have people who are also, you know, like taking you for granted, or like, yeah, like there seems to be a lot of imbalance, you know, in a relationship here. And so I feel like what's for you, Spirit is talking about is beautiful. And it does feel like maybe it has been delayed. And you might be saying like, I just haven't experienced it yet. I know it hasn't come yet. And I'm sort of just getting comfortable with the fact that, okay, like I can trust Spirit. I'll just work on healing or growing in this, or using these imbalanced relationships that I've experienced in the past as like a lesson of sorts, and like understand, and like you're just sort of growing in that energy, whereas Spirit is saying the delay is coming to an end, is that you're going to get exactly what Spirit was wanting you to get when it comes to relationship here, because I feel like the whole work that you were being done getting to see is your self-worth, your self-love, growth, your intuition, imbalance in relationships, how to manage your emotions, and all of this stuff that I feel like you're finally getting through this energy. It's like, if I'm going to commit, I'm going to commit to the work of healing myself, commit to myself, and realize that commitment in a relationship isn't something that I could just like give to anyone willy-nilly, especially if it's imbalanced, or if they're not as maybe at the same level of healedness as me, you know, that I could be really like spinning my tires, or like self-doubt, or like disappointed in experience like that, when it's like with someone who doesn't mirror back to me my value. Yeah, I feel like you're really committing to yourself in a brand new way. And it's like this understanding with yourself that comes through as like an unwavering trust in choosing to love yourself and to commit to your growth and your health. And when I say health, like emotional health, healthy relationship, like pulling out of imbalanced situations. You know, if there's a relationship that is or has been imbalanced, it's like, I'm going to choose myself in this moment rather than maybe fuel this thing, or get, or take it personal, or like take the responsibility or this pressure on me. Because I feel like you've been taking the pressure, you know, like if you are already in a situation with someone, then it's like feeling almost like I'll carry the weight of this emotional pressure. And that could certainly happen when we are dealing with people who might be fearful of commitment, or who might take us for granted, or who might be emotionally not as open or serious, or it's like carrying our own emotional weight and then carrying that of other. And so it could be very draining, you know, and it's like understanding what is mine to carry and what is not mine to carry, and what has the past showed me, and this past is now contributed to my confidence in myself. So I feel like there is not forgetting sort of what has happened as an experience, but now it's like, in knowing what I know, using discernment, I can make different decisions. And now my first reflex, or my first choice, is myself. So I feel like there has been a lot of transformation done through experience. I do feel there's been a lot of disappointments. I feel like there's been you feeling maybe again like on the lower end of receiving, maybe making yourself feel small, and having to really learn about like your own truth in a relationship and what that looks like and what that means. Like, what's not you and what is you? What is taught behavior and what is something that brings you healthy results or makes you feel good, and what makes you feel sad or like less than or like disappointed or unstable or ungrounded or like emotionally upside down. And it's like, now I know, and now I can align with what's better. Yeah. And I feel like now that you sort of know what's in your power too, it's like less power that others can take. Because it's like, I can look at the past now or what my experience was, and I can take accountability for all the things here that maybe in the past I would have said I wasn't sure if it had accountability in it. I wasn't certain my role in it. I didn't know I could do it different. I was sort of maybe in a lot of times acting out of fear or just emotional imbalance or like something like this. And now it's like, I know where I could have maybe chose better or where I knew better or could have made different choices. But now, like in hindsight, it's like, I'm glad that I went through understanding myself, even though it might have been very difficult, tough, or like challenging. It's like I could see now, where there was imbalance. I could see now my worth. I could see now what love means. I could see loving myself. I could see what makes me feel more regulated. And I think your shift to what is healthy love is where you're wanting to commit to rather than blindly maybe committing to a person or something like this, I feel this is also making you very adaptable, because it seems to me like, not saying like adaptable as in it's imbalance and you're like giving to another situation because you're just like keep compromising yourself and you're like adaptable to other, but adaptable as in you're not so rigid or fixed where you could just emotionally be pulled or broken or fragile based on external people's disappointing natures or their own wounds or their own actions that might not line up with your value. And it's like your adaptability to say, this doesn't break me. I could work around other people's trauma or their like challenges. It doesn't take away from me. It doesn't make me less like strong or confident or make me react maybe in a way that I did. I only feel like stronger about myself. I feel like there's growth upon growth upon growth here, rather than it's like maybe in the past is like always falling back to confusion or falling back into disappointment or like falling back to the drawing board to figure things out. It's like, and me and my emotions, me and my disappointments, me and my confusion or something like this. And it's like, I'm centered. I know if I have myself, then that's all I really need is like, I got me. And this understanding is profound because this is the truer sense of love. When we love ourselves, we're able to really extend it to others from this true healthy place. Yeah, massive transformation. So I want to see, like, because Spirit says you might have felt like it wasn't coming or like, and this could have been the struggle that you've been experiencing in a relationship is like, it felt like you were waiting for perfect love or for a mirror to come in or for someone to match your value or for you to be seen and appreciated in a way that made you feel like, okay, this is a committed relationship where there's growth, there's healing, there's mutual respect, but it's like, it's not coming. And I've been maybe trying to wait on this or see it to come. And I just got tired of waiting, or I learned through waiting. All of this I sort of learned about myself. So I don't know if someone's sort of coming in here with some form of like realization, or through this challenging experience, if you had a connection that was very difficult and heavy and made you sort of understand all this, if there's like realizations on their end And whether you want to engage with that person or not, it's like, know that karma is sort of in action. Okay. Like, not that you want anyone to suffer, but it's like any lessons that were needing to be seen or experienced on both sides as a result of maybe tears and imbalances and delays and emotional dysregulation or anything like this, like karma is balancing out for sure. And so when karma balances out, it's like maybe those people leave our life and we're like a complete different person, you know? Or karma balances out and then we engage with the same person in a different way because lessons have been learned. So I think for all of you guys, it might be different. You might know which, but we're going to see. Spirit for pile number 2. What is next in love then? What do they need to know in regards to what is next in love? Is there someone coming towards pile 2? What more do they need to know about their next chapter in love here? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Please protect me and the viewer and their connection as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for joining me today. I'd like to thank your higher self, spirit guides, spirit teams, angels, ancestors, interdimensional beings, and of course, spirit for this active divination. Thank you so much for this message. We're so blessed to be here. What is next in love for pile 2? What can they expect? Okay, so, oh my gosh, you guys got the most beautiful card in the tarot. Sun, joy, happiness, enlightenment, clarity, warmth, optimism, an understanding. Okay, I think you've reached a level of self-mastery, I feel here with the sun. It's like I could see clearly now, you know, and this allows there to be warmth and joy to come in. Leo energy, judgment. Yeah, and that thing about karma, like I was saying, was coming through. It's like, let the chips fall where they may, because now all is sort of seen, all is out there now, you know, like everything that was supposed to sort of unfold has given us insight to who we are and what we want and maybe what others have been like in our world and how we maybe connected to others or how we saw others or how we saw ourselves in a relationship. And maybe it's like, oh, it was skewed, or now I understand and I could see better. And now I know what brings me joy and what really doesn't, or where I might have been playing small. Like truths are being exposed. Now, this next chapter of your life is like truths are being exposed. Everything is out in the open. There are no secrets or confusions. Like there's nothing to like have to sort through like that's murky or unclear. It's like it's all out in the open. It's like clear, but the decision is like, what do we want to do with these understandings is up to us, you know? Yeah. Okay, well that feels good. Strength. Oh my goodness. So we have Leo coming through very strong. You guys might have a Leo sun, a Leo moon, or rising, or Venus, or something like this. Okay. But I feel this is this like beautiful, optimistic energy. So if you felt like there was a gray cloud around you in regards to love, like I'm always crying, or I'm always sad, or I'm always emotional, or I never know what's going on, it's never clear, it's always sort of like that sort of a thing that's going away, because I feel like there's this light energy. It feels like, I don't know, like your love life is turning into like something that feels more joyful rather than heavy or depressing. So there's definitely a levity here in your turn of events, you know, a lightness that comes about. I think her confidence definitely comes back to, for sure. This is beautiful. Yeah, Ace of Swords, a clarity, a truth. It's like, I know who I am. I know what I'm about. You know, I don't even feel like this is from an egoic. Normally I read, obviously, as you guys know, a lot of ego, and I'm not saying you don't have an ego, but I'm not seeing this as an egoic shadow. I'm seeing this in the light. And because what I feel you've experienced here is spirit was trying to get you to see your value, see your courage, see your confidence, you know, and it was even like spirit made me feel or go through an experience that was karmic or whatever you want to call it. that made me lose confidence, you know? So it's like, I'm going to create the problem and then I'm going to create the solution, which doesn't really mean lots. But I feel like what Spirit is saying is underneath it all, there was stuff that was coming up through the subconscious. It could have been inner child stuff. Okay. Stuff within us that maybe didn't allow us to see our strength or courage, or where we play small, where we were out of balance in relationships because we were overgiving or overinvested, or saw people as more valuable, or that they had more weight to be given than us. So we would, like, I don't know, play backseat or make ourselves little or whatever it is. It's like, no, I see my value. I see my truth. I see it clearly. And I'm no longer going to, like, just not say anything, maybe to keep peace either, but it's not from a place of I want to cause trouble. It's like I will speak the truth of what I'm feeling and seeing, because now it's become very clear to me and apparent. And so if things are imbalanced, I'm going to speak my truth about how I'm feeling. Like, I'm no longer afraid to say how I'm feeling or what it is that I need. If I need more X, then I'm going to say, this is what I need. This is what I need you to give for me if I want to remain here, not in a demanding way, but it's like, we might have feared in the past, like, if I say what I need or if I express myself, this person might not want me, or they might judge me, or they may think I'm too much or too needy or too this or to that, And so I think maybe there was a lot of just, like, observing rather than, like, feeling safe enough to express oneself. Okay, so 2 swords in the reverse, and the Lovers in reverse, Gemini energy, and the Empress, total Empress energy all over this reading. Okay, Taurus, Libra energy, 7 of Cups in the reverse. That's that confusing energy I was feeling there, and then the 9 Pentacles. So, beautiful angels, what are you resolving? Any relationship, doesn't matter if it was destined, don't care if it was your twin flame, your soulmate, your forever person, something that was divinely scripted or guided. What's changing here is I am no longer going to maintain a situation if I feel small, if I feel confused, if I feel not chosen, if I feel like it's not aligned with my authentic truth, because I know my value, I know my self-worth. And so the Empress knows when she's going to invest, when to not invest, when to get involved, how to show compassion and love, how to speak her truth, how not to offend, how when she is challenged by something, how not to get into shadow or ego or battle. It's like, I know my truth, my value, and I know as well when there are people who mean well, and I know when there's people who are trying to, like, take advantage of me, and I'm not going to let it confuse me ever again. So pre-Empress energy with the 9 Pentacles, there seems to be a strong confidence about you. And it's like, I know, I see, I understand, I am aware. And this is all that matters. Everything else, let Spirit roll out its judgment however it does. If I don't see judgment being folded on other people or rolled out, it's like, it doesn't impact my truth, my value, my confidence, my clarity, my decisions, my position. This is what I've learned, and this is what I've graduated from, and I've learned my lesson, Spirit. Thank you so much. Anything else that's been creating indecision, confusion, fence-sitting, fantasizing, not working, imbalance, unregulated, undecided, I'm no longer going to invest in the 3D. If it comes around, it could sit there blocked all at once, but I'm not investing effortlessly over and over and over again, trying to prove my confidence or self-worth to someone who might not see it or understand it, because they might not understand their own self-worth or their own truth. But it's not for me to prove or to show. That's on them, So I asked about what was unfolding here, and all Spirit's showing me is your beautiful, strong energy, because I think the lesson mostly here is it doesn't matter if there was a connection that didn't progress here to you. So much as it is, what matters more is me knowing that I have the ability to stand in my truth and not be pulled into situations that are like out of balance here. And Spirit is saying the truth is going to be seen and understood in any situation that you're in. Okay. And I do feel like if you do resonate with being on a destined contractual spiritual journey here with somebody, okay, because sometimes this is what I read for, is like spiritual contracts or like twin flames or like this sort of a thing. If this person was karmic, you've definitely learned your lesson. You're no longer energetically pulled into shenanigans here, okay? But if this is somebody who is also being called to learn a similar mirrored lesson here, I feel like both you guys are stepping into a newfound confidence. There's a truth being revealed as a result of this shift of energy that you hold. Okay, so if you're holding the I guess the lead of a graduated energy that's saying, I now see my own self-worth, self-love, I feel this is mirrored. Okay, this is mirrored with your person, because I feel like whatever has been challenging here, it's like we had to get to the truth. We had to see our own shadow. We had to work through our own egos. We had to work through our own confidence in choosing ourselves and seeing this lesson and learning this lesson before we could consciously choose each other. So we were stuck here in fantasy or confusion or illusion or open-ended like circles in some way, where it's like not knowing decisively where it was going or how to choose. And so it's like, if you've been with someone who has been unavailable or just not showing up, it's like they make themselves available as a result of this energy shift. Okay, now whether you want to choose them or not to choose them, I think Spirit is saying is definitely up to you, because now you can see clearly. It's like now you could choose consciously. You could choose consciously now because you can see the truth. And in the past, we might have been choosing out of fear, desperation, wound, I need to like prove something or to ourselves. It's like, no, it was all about self-worth, self-love. Okay, but I do feel like this could definitely stand for both your energy. If you were resonating with someone here who is just not in a position to make themselves available, and they might have been struggling with their own self-love and their own self-confidence and stepping forward or just being decisive and saying, I choose to experience like joy here, but I wasn't making myself available. And so the delay was having to learn this lesson. The delay was having healing and growth through a process. Both you guys would have been dancing together. And it's like, I want to commit to this connection, and the transformation was much needed before we could commit, before we could face each other, before we could consciously choose each other. And there's a realization. It's like, this is my joy. This is what brings me happiness. Let's like experience this now from a place of true love and understanding, and have the courage to step into this thing, courage to commit, courage to face this thing despite what we've experienced in the past, because that takes great courage. Sometimes it's just done or it's done. It's like, no, I learned my lesson. It's done. Let's move on. We've learned our lesson. But I feel like this is the karma, is like things work out, and they balance out in a way that's fair and understood. And so it's like, if it was fair and understood that we never really gave this a chance, or that this poor experience was needed in order for us to see ourselves differently, or for me to learn about my own self-love, or how I could commit better, or how I could transform and heal certain things within me, or develop my own intuition or inner stillness or something like this. And then it's like, well, thank you, Spirit, for showing us through the mirror of other what we were needing to see and understand. It's clear to us that this is what we've experienced, and now this next chapter is out of any sort of murkiness here, that allows there to be a true experience here. Yeah, but I don't feel you're chasing. I don't feel you're settling. I don't feel you're doing anything except for like just living your life. And I feel like whoever is coming towards you is someone who is going to be confident in choosing this connection. Not, I don't know. I can't choose you. I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm indecisive. I'm, like if it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no here. And it's like, yeah, just not like pursuing this connection. And it's like, well, no, I don't want someone who's not confident in their energy to choose this. And then never mind. I'm not going to do anything here. Okay, pile number 2. This is your reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. And you guys picked the cloud. The labradorite cloud. And we're looking at what's next in love for you. Apply this to your own unique situations. If you're single, in a relationship, situationship, if you've met someone already or about to meet someone, apply the energy accordingly, okay? And if it feels as though this is a single energy or someone in a connection, I will state as such. And if it's not your pile, you can go check out another pile. Okay, so we have the personal Mandela. Interesting. There's one card in this deck, I think only one, that you can color yourself. All the rest are already colored. Okay, so 44 is a master number. Integrity is a foundation. Treating the earth and home as a temple. Manifestation and leadership. Personal Mandela. Interesting. And then we have abundance. Oh my goodness, number 8. The energy of abundance activates our ability to manifest the wealth we need and the sense of fulfillment that comes from a heart and soul that are overflowing with love and gratitude. Oh my goodness, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps. Wow, okay. Power, 21 with the third chakra, which is the solar plexus. Wow. Wow. And then we have 39. You can't find goodness because you lost your heart. Number 12. Okay, and then we have move on. Strong Aquarius energy here and Leo energy I'm feeling. And we have the date card. It says the 2 of roses. So this is 2 wands. And we have 93 and 3 with more solar plexus energy. Rational quality, growth level. Honesty, directness, integrity, probity, truth, or probity. Truth, loyalty, and morality. Type 3, the achiever, emotional center between appearance and authenticity. Wow. Okay. Let me channel what this is, and we'll definitely need some more tarot here to see what pulls through. Give me a moment. Okay, pile number 3. This is a beautiful pile. Regardless of what stage or circumstances, I should say, whatever your circumstance is, because for all of you guys, it is different for sure. But this feels like the common energy here, okay, is an energy of, if this is someone that you're dealing with, then apply this to this person's energy, okay? But I'm going to read it like it's your energy. I feel like there's a moving on from past hindrances that were getting in the way of building a future that you want to see, okay? Or the person that you're dealing with, for sure, if they were hindered in the past. There seems to be like this beautiful, confident energy coming from the solar plexus. Normally, I read the solar plexus as an egoic sort of driver from identity. Okay, but in the light, healthy solar plexus energy is I have confidence to courageously create a future, and it's in my power. This feels like a conscious manifester. to say, in order for me to create what I want to see, I have to make changes and I have to let go of, release anything that isn't aligned with that. So there's an understanding of where you want to go. Okay, if this is your energy, it's like, I have a vision of what I want to experience. Now let me manifest this. Let me make it happen. And really recognizing, like, what is going to get in the way? What is holding me back? What is any beliefs, decisions, hindrances of the past, repeat patterns, habitual mindsets, discouraging sort of patterns maybe that kept me stuck or didn't allow me to move on or didn't allow me to explore. I am making way with it because I feel like there might have been a more negative mindset in the past that came from an experience of loss, you know, like in the form, of course, because loss is experienced in form. And it's like, I can't find it within me to change my circumstance. I can't find it within me to trust in the future or to explore what's out there because I'm either too hurt, too jaded, too depressed, too untrustworthy, still wounded from that experience, still mourning over what has happened, and all of this stuff. And I feel like maybe we've been there for some time, or we could have been engaged with someone who's been there for some time. Okay, but I feel like the energy is like moving on from that, in which is unfulfilling, knowing I have a choice and I can choose to create my future here. But I have to make different decisions and I have to be consciously aware of the decisions I am making, because I feel like maybe there was repeated cycles or repetitious choices that we could stay in. You know, even when we're conscious of those choices at some point in time, you know, right after we choose it, we could just be, oh, here I am again in another cycle or choosing the same thing, you know, whether this is like to stay in a connection that's been heavy or with someone who maybe seems to be lost in their sorrows or their victimhood and like staying in that sort of a thing, or it could be your own carrying of this thing and knowing that we're sort of engaging and knowing maybe that there is other choices or decisions, but still somehow feeling stuck there or still choosing that. It's like being able to break that cycle, being able to see that in front of me, I do have a choice and I have the ability to choose different, because I feel like there is this strength that comes. It's coming through solar plexus. So this means I'm now confident in my decision to choose differently. And my will is there to choose differently and to commit to my choices. And I think the driver here is knowing that the future that I could create is something that I want a helping hand in, and it could be very wonderful here, but I have to get involved and I have to believe in that of abundance. I have to align with that of abundance. I feel like a lot of you guys might have had an understanding. It feels very strong here. A strong understanding of what you were supposed to experience. You know, this could have been given to you by a vision, by an inner knowing, by a dream, by a strong, like, destined knowing. It's like, this is what I know my future person is supposed to look like or be like or something like this. Okay, of course, we're not getting attached to an outcome so much as it is an inner knowing, not a wishing and a believing and attaching to outcome, but it's like a destined inner knowing, and then maybe feeling like trapped or stuck in an experience that was like keeping you from what you knew you were to be aligned with. So it's like, okay, I'm experiencing maybe the opposite, or maybe I'm like, I don't know, it almost feels like wherever you were almost felt like I can't step forward towards that dream, or that dream person, or that dream vision of what I envision my love life to be like, or this connection to be like, or my future to be like here. And now I feel like you're finally breaking out of this consciously. And I do feel it has something to do with divine timing. And I do feel it has to do with spirit sort of allowing this time, again, like divine timing, but allowing this time to be something that you could consciously break out of without like maybe spirit carrying the bulk of the weight, because there seems to be something here again of what you are learning through this process. Because I feel like this gives you self-empowerment. This is like your own understanding of your own strength, power, confidence, manifestations, that you can get involved with spirit and co-create with spirit. That it's not just spirit alone that's going to like call the shots and you're sort of on the sidelines so much. It's like, yes, spirit calls the shots, but you have the choice whether you want to move in that direction or no, or like be open to what spirit is like working with you with. And I feel in the past, maybe you felt like at the mercy of that experience, like feeling really bound by, I don't know, situation, circumstance, you know? So I feel like there is this beautiful energy of all is well in God's universe. There's no seeking. Things are unfolding exactly as God intended, but I have an ability to dance with the universe, make decisions with the universe, feel empowered here instead of held back here, or looking at what I wish I could have, but it's too far away. And I'm kind of, I don't know, feeling trapped or stuck, or one obstacle after another. So there is some choice I feel that's coming up for you, beautiful people. Okay, this river sort of breaking off into these two paths. The Two of Wands definitely talks about a choice and a decision. And so I feel like Spirit is showing like alternate timelines available to you, not just one. And what Spirit is talking about is like all of these timelines could support you in some regard. Maybe certain aspects of you could be supported in one timeline, or another one could be supported of you in another timeline, depending on what your decision is, because we always have free will to choose where we want to go based on what Spirit puts in front of us. And then, of course, there's always lessons to be had or mirrors to be held up so that we can have spiritual growth. And I feel like Spirit's saying none of these choices are going to be poor choices or bad choices. They're all aligned with an experience you're meant to have. So there isn't I chose wrong or I did wrong. And maybe we have pressure that's like, there's only one path, you know, and maybe you have in your mind what that path looks like. But Spirit is saying, I want you to see all possibilities, or at least another possibility, because you're not just stuck to one. And it's like knowing that you have many choices, at the very least, not just one choice. Spirit is saying you might see differently. It's like you might want differently. You might create your future differently. Like Spirit really wants you involved here in manifesting your future. But it's like Spirit saying, like, this has to be from the truest place. And so in order to get to that true place to pick, whichever path you're loyal to, is like showing you, like, there's something about when you see that you have a choice and you choose your path, it gives it more meaning. because it's like I was loyal to this path, or I committed myself to knowing that there could have been different ways or different things, and I chose this path. And I don't know, it like gives it more value in some way, but it's like you could clearly see, you could clearly loyally commit to a path, and obviously we're doing a love reading, so it's like maybe you have a choice between two people, or maybe you have a choice between moving closer to someone, or moving away from someone, or like this way would lead me to a whole new world of new possibility in this other path, this other world of possibility here. And it's like Spirit is saying, like, you could play it in your mind how it would unfold. Both are options for you. None would be wrong. They're both sort of aligned with a destined experience that you could have. Both would be abundant for you, because I think when you do choose, it's like out of a clear choice of direct clarity from a confidence in yourself to choose, and Spirit backing you and removing any obstacles that maybe you've already overcome, or like I said, coming out of this, like, I don't know if it was a karmic experience or a mindset, or like a situation where we felt like nobody here supports me, or I don't know, like I can't find love here, or it's not good here, or like I'm just with people who are heartless, or like whatever you were experiencing here, I feel like felt very limiting. But I feel like what Spirit's saying was it was destined for you to experience that, so it could give you the new clarity or perspective so that you can choose what's aligned with you for what is about to come up. I do feel it's going to require a move either which way, like a physical, geographical move. I don't know if it's up the street. I don't know if it's to the state or the province beside you. I don't know if it's like to a new country. I don't know if it's down south, out east, out west, up north. I have no idea. But I do feel like it's showing movement, and where you do choose, this is the thing, is like Spirit saying this is where it flows. So it's not like, well, if you choose there, it's going to be a more difficulty or more obstacle and things like that. Or if you go that way, then that one's going to flow more. And if you go this other way, then it's like, no, Spirit's saying flow, 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 flow. Destined, 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 destined. All these timelines, yes, will have their own experience, but I feel like they're all flowing. So you must have gone through some real heavy experience here, It's like learning cycles, obstacles, challenge. You might have gone through a massive tower, multiple towers here. You could have been catalyzed into a complete awakening as well, okay? So like I'm feeling strong Uranus energy. And it's like, whoa, like I have to deal with tower after tower. And so I think it was gaining your bearing so that you could see your truth, so you could see the truth ahead of you, so you could gain your strength, so you could gain your confidence, so that you could see clearly, so you can have the ability to co-create with the universe and not be too exhausted, too jaded, too hurt, too tired, too stuck, too all of the stuff that can sort of get in the way. And Spirit is saying it's not going to, because you're going to move out of that energy. Be a co-creator, see clearly, have the confidence, have the strength, see that everything's sort of abundant here, and maybe even see these timelines very clearly so that you can really be consciously choosing without getting sort of shoved into a direction that's like, whoa, I totally regret this, or years later is like, I could have went that way, or I should have done this, or I should have done that, and I chose poorly, or something like this, I feel like if you haven't been feeling desirable, I feel like this is about to change, because I do feel like you're going to be shown. Okay, I don't know if you have a situation right now where you're with someone. If you are, I feel it's been very challenging for sure up until now. And so this is saying things will shift and change. And I do feel like if this is someone who hasn't been outwardly coming towards you, I do feel this person is coming towards you okay, in a way that maybe they haven't before. There seems to be an acceptance, an appreciation, an invitation, an invite to welcome you to. So again, this movement I feel is like maybe they're asking you like, okay, do you want to experience or explore something with me, you know? Or they're saying, I want to explore whatever with you. And it's now in your hands. It's like, do I want to attend? Do I want to go in that direction? Do I want to go in a different direction? Do I want to welcome this experience? I feel like there's a choice to be made, and you might have to respond. You know, not right away and not out of pressure, but I feel like if you are engaged with someone, even if it's someone new, like you could be getting multiple invites as well. And it's like you needing to sort of clear your mind to know which is going to be for my highest good at this time that I want to choose, which Spirit is saying it's all for your great good. So there is no wrong choice, but it's like maybe a preference, you know, maybe a preference, like what do I prefer? And I feel like there's a need to respond because I do feel like whoever is coming towards you is going to put an open-ended sort of thing saying, hey, like, are you open to exploring this, or do you still want to engage, or can we start to engage, or I'm interested in going further with you or exploring something with you. And it's like, what say you? You know? And so it's like, like truly being honest with your preferences and your desires and having the confidence to answer openly, honestly, without fear of rejection or disappointment, or I don't know. It feels very much like choices, opportunity. The worst is behind you. The experience of feeling trapped or repeatedly sort of feeling stuck or something like this is behind you. And that the towers you experienced were much needed here in order to build some sort of character and some sort of perspective. Because now your perspective is giving you the power to make decisions that are more clear and more aligned with your truth. Okay, so it's kind of giving you a reason why maybe you've experienced the challenge you have. Because if you've experienced very disappointing experiences that have been feeling heavy and you're still not sure why was it so heavy? Why was it so disappointing? Why did I experience all this heartbreak or all of this karmic experience or all these towers? Like whatever it was, like it feels very heavy. And it's like, okay, I don't really understand why or what the purpose was or the need, but it's like, I'm out of that. So great. But then Spirit is saying, you'll know, because now as a result of this, you will see pathways where you didn't before. You will make different decisions that you wouldn't have before. You will be more clear, more decisive, more in tune with your ability and your strength to choose differently so that other timelines open up for you. And I also feel like there is something about your purpose in life, or your purpose here, or why you're sort of on Earth. Now, of course, we have many purposes why we're sort of here on Earth, but there seems to be a divine purpose that is also sort of tied into your path in a heavy way here, you know? I don't know how, but I feel like there's something very specific to you and your purpose that lines up with your romantic love life and the future choice that you're making here. So let's see, Spirit, what am I channeling here for pile number 3 in regards to what's next in love? What's next in love for pile number 3? Clear and concise message. Can we see, are there new people coming towards them? What's next in love for pile number 3? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Pile 3, thank you so much for joining me. I'd like to thank your higher self, Spirit team, Spirit guides, angels, and ancestors for this act of divination. Thank you, Spirit. What is next in love for pile number 3? I just heard Australia. Some of you guys might be in Australia, or maybe you felt like an island unto yourself in some way here with Australia. Clear and concise message for pile 3. Wow, temperance, healing, balance, Sagittarius energy, King of Wands under that. That's a beautiful confidence that I was feeling in the solar plexus, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, strong Sagittarius here for sure. Okay, the moon, Cancer energy, clarified by 3 pentacles in the reverse, and the tower, which I was feeling multiple towers here, which could have created this whole thing, this whole hoopla in your past here, okay, that you've been healing from. Yeah, 8 wands, moving out of that. Yeah, transformation, Scorpio energy, beautiful. And we got the world in reverse, and we got the 7 of cups, options, opportunities, and then the 4 of cups. Okay, beautiful people. And the chariot under that, Cancer energy, strong Cancer as well, strong Sagittarius, Scorpio, if I didn't say. So let me just tap into all this energy before I start to channel, but it does come through very strong here. Okay, pile number 3. What I'm really seeing here is a heavy, heavy, heavy past, which I talked about a lot, okay? Experiencing tower. Tower could be very destabilizing, you know, but the tower is always much needed because what's false, what can't stand, what's not able to be built upon falls away, and we don't want to waste time with shaky possibilities and all of this type of stuff, you know, and what gets revealed as the tower sort of falls is always truths and clarity and that sort of a thing, you know. And so I feel like the experience of the past could have been very emotionally heavy. It could have been very much like bringing up, dredging up a lot of things that were needing to be seen by you. I don't feel like you were in a position to create a solid future for yourself in relationship with other, even if you felt like you could have. Because I think what Spirit was showing was like, I wanted to remove anything there that would have created a faulty foundation that wouldn't allow you to build something very solid with another from a healed place, from a balanced place, without settling or without maybe feeling, I don't know, any hurts of the past that you're carrying, any subconscious wounds, any sort of inability to love or connect or open up, or something about your confidence of yourself or feel like you could succeed. So I feel like there was a lot of work that was needing to be done. Okay, shadow integration, healing, balancing, you know, and working through your confidence and trusting your own vision, your vision of success, your vision of going after it, and this sort of a thing. And so you might have carried success or confidence in a way that might have got in the way of your destined path. So for example, we could use our own confidence and our own strength and our own masculine outward energy to keep sort of driving forward as like a way to keep people out. And if it's too masculine, if it's too independent, if it's too forward moving, if there's a need here, the Spirit is saying to like temper that energy differently so that other timelines can open up. So if there was timelines that would require maybe a different energy rather than just like plowing ahead, having success, achieving, winning, it's like, okay, we might shut ourselves down from partnerships that maybe would require a more balanced approach, that might have required more of an emotional tapping into our feels, maybe expressing our emotions, understanding our emotions, sitting with our emotions, seeing some of our fears, because I feel like our fears could have been really shoved down and we could have really suppressed even deep emotions. There could have even been an inability to really love. love self or love other, or like connect with a deep part of our emotions. And we could have just like been really like walking around in the universe like this ambitious King of Wands, maybe even career driven, or just like, I don't know, steamrolling ahead and being like, I don't really feel like anything's missing or anything like this. Like either people want to work with me or they don't. And like really sort of that sort of a one track mind. And it's like, I think your experience has proven otherwise, because I think everything you've known potentially has come tumbling down, you know? And it's saying like, I wanted you to connect to your emotions. I wanted you to see that maybe there were relationships here or partnerships that could be aligned for you. But if we were not seeing it under our nose, if we weren't healed enough, if we were in imbalanced energy to work with these relationships, we could have just shut them down, or I don't know, whatever maybe we were experiencing. So I feel like there's been massive change, transformation, release. I think the world as you know it has completely shifted and changed. I feel like you're breaking out of any, like I said, whatever this energy is, because this feels very almost like I have to, I can't even put this into words. It's almost like when we feel like there's nobody that's building with us or there to like pick up pieces too, and then we could be very overwhelmed, and it's like, I guess it's just me and my cleaning up this mess, or me sort of going through this part of my phase, like misunderstood or really disconnected from the world because they don't understand me or they don't get it, or I'm just removed from this. And so I can't build partnerships. And it's like, I got to clear up this aftermath, and it's overwhelming, and it's like too much for one person, and it's discouraging, and it's all sorts of things here, you know? All that energy I feel is shifting and changing for sure, because what's happening here is I feel like, remember I was telling you multiple timelines? This is what this Eight of Wands is giving me, because all of these wands are sort of moving through the air, and one of these wands is going to land on target. Okay, so the Seven of Wands is like the step before this, where like we're having to sort of fight and prove whatever. And then the Eight of Wands is like we fire all our shots to land one target, okay, so that we can sort of not miss or aim. And I feel like all of these are the different possibilities. Same with the Seven Cups, all about options and possibilities. And I feel like you have been in an energy here where maybe it's been, again, all I've experienced was the aftermath, the disappointment, feeling not enthused, feeling like my confidence was sort of taken from me, or like this strength that I might have had, you know, like maybe it had to really temper that down, or like it watered down my fire. And I felt very discouraged, like being here for so long, being watered down by the moon energy. Because up until now, maybe you were a lot of fire, you were a lot of ambition, you were a lot of drive, you were a lot of, and it's like good, but it does feel like it's been a coping way. And now it's like Spirit is wanting to present you with an opportunity, saying, hey, all of these choices, all of these timelines are yours to choose. And can you see, based on what you've experienced here, a cup that's going to be truthful for you, that you can now be loyal to? Because what I did from all of this was remove the noise, remove all the cups that are like snakes and like dragons and like all of this stuff that maybe you wouldn't want to experience. But one of these cups, because you can only really be in one sort of choosing from your life, like a timeline here, although all these other timelines can exist. It's like, which one's going to suit you? Can you see? Can you clearly see? Because now you have the strength, the confidence, and the clarity to choose this timeline clearly, so that we can put you on that path to what is new. So, world in reverse. I feel like what I'm really getting is that whatever world has shifted here for you, that you put behind you already, because this is already something's released, something's already closed, something has been transformed, cannot be the same. I feel this is your energy. Your energy can never be the same. You've released a lot of fears, a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainties, a lot of stuff maybe that we were trying to work through, understandings of like maybe what it meant to work with others, or how we might have carried this energy where we were, you can't find goodness because you lost your heart. It's almost like disappointment in others. And it's like, I have to leave my experience of the past behind and enter and pick myself up to my environment here to really consider which direction I want to go. Because I do feel like I was saying, for some of you guys, one of these timelines, one of these choices could be to do something in your current environment, or work in a new way with, I don't know, whoever is around you, or like an already experienced person, you know, or already experienced relationship, or someone that's already in your world, or like an environment that you're currently living in. Like, that's an opportunity, but it's like, I'm not going to engage in the same way, or like live it in the same way, or do the same thing and repeat cycle. Like, the cycle is over for sure. Okay, so this isn't saying, oh, the cycle's not over, you haven't learned your lesson, it's not closed, there's no closure. I feel like it's saying your environment is still open. There's still a timeline here with that person, that place, that experience, but you're different. Because what didn't work in the past is sort of behind you. You have to heal. There's temperance here now, and it's both sides. And so it's saying your environment might have needed another side, another person here. And so it's like, I don't need to move. I don't need to do anything here. I'm coming tempered. I'm patient. I'm healed. Here's the other side. It's not necessarily over. This is the timeline I want to choose. Let me choose this, you know. Let me choose this, and let me actually see where I was maybe discouraged, maybe feeling rejected or disappointed or let down, because what you did experience, I feel, was like feeling like you couldn't work with your environment or the people who you're having to work with here, you know? It was like very, I don't know, I feel like emotionally destabilizing is what I'm getting, like an emotional rupture. This feels like, I don't know, a great awakening to truth here. This could be like going through a dark night of the soul, or like something you had to go through on your own. It's like nobody could go here. This was a lesson of sorts for you. It had to unfold the way that it did. You've healed beautifully. You've come out the other side as a more tempered person, completely changed. Your opportunities are now in front of you, and Spirit says you could see clearly. You're healed. You're balanced. What do you want to do? Do you want to close the chapter to this whole old life completely and move on to something completely new? It's up to you. Do you want to work in that environment and see it from a whole new perspective, rather than this other energy that you've been, the gray cloud or the disappointment? Because now the power is in your hands to choose differently. Okay, and I feel like, yeah, the power is in your hands to choose differently. But now the only difference is the choosing here, I think, is honest and true. It's not from fear. It's not from trying to like avoid deeper feelings, or like, I don't know, like totally like force some form of path that might have not have necessarily been for your highest good, because it might have looked like something that seemed like it would have been successful, or it seemed like something that was winning or victorious or something like this. It's like, can you actually see now? Take your time. Take your time. There's a lot about balance, healing, integrating another part. And it could be just integrating the watery energy with your fire, the masculine, the feminines, like integrated here. And it's like, I had to see the dissolution of one so I could work with the other. And maybe you just felt like really stripped and removed from your masculine energy. where maybe in one point in time it's like, yeah, I have all this confidence and strength and independence and freedom and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it's like, ooh, like the tower happens. It's like, and now I'm like in this intuition and feels and fears and emotions, and I don't know what to build of this because it feels like I'm standing on like sand. I can't like build anything. Okay, this whole thing was to transform you. This whole thing was to say you could take your fire and you could take your water and you could create an energy here. And one of these choices that you choose is going to be for your greatest good, but you're the one who's going to choose it. And do not feel like the world that I collapsed around you is like taking anything from you. I didn't take anything from you. All I did was remove the distortion or the noise or the disability, if you will, or the lopsidedness or the understanding that you might have had that you were only fire and that was the only thing you can act from, or that emotions were, I don't know, whatever was false here is what I removed. And so Spirit is saying, like, you can still work in that environment to do what you need to, learn what you want to, explore what you want, like from fire or water, like it's up to you. They haven't gone anywhere. I didn't take anything from you. Nothing is missing from you, you know? And so, yeah, I feel it's beautiful. I feel like this is true abundance because maybe you felt robbed, you know, with this tower, like spirits robbed me of something, or my whole world is like gone, you know? And we really feel this way. And it's like, no, what's gone is what was not good for you. What's gone is what could have led to untruths, distortions, hurts, and built to something that could have really destabilized you further down the road. Whereas like removing what is no longer going to serve you now clears the slate, and it allows you to see these timelines, you know? So, and there's so many, like, yeah, there's so many. And I feel like either way that you choose, I feel is going to be exactly right for you, you know, whichever you do choose. Yeah. So beautiful angels, this is your reading. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. All right. Bye-bye.